Oh, wonderful. Hello, everyone. My name is Maja, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Before I start my talk, I want to ask each and every one of you to ask yourself one question. And that question is, what does your voice mean to you? You can think about it all day. As for me, I'm a singer and songwriter, actress and presenter. I'm also a flower and tea lover, as you can see. And I have worked in various business roles for over 12 years, mostly in sales all around the world. And my voice, to me, is my everything. It's the first thing I think of when I wake up. It's the last thing I think of when I go to bed after checking it throughout the day, probably 372 times. It's my treasure, my essence, it's my absolute everything. And I hope my story will explain why. I had luck to travel around the world and sing for wonderful audiences in many different countries. I sang for princes and princesses, VIPs, and most importantly, wonderful music lovers all around the world. And I have also started recording and performing my own songs that I wrote under my nickname Petal. And that is probably not very exciting, not for a TED Talk at least, apart from a little known fact that not even a lot of my close friends know of. So I'm coming out effectively here today. That when I was about 13, when I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with a severe case of nodules on my vocal cords. I was told they were inoperable, and I was told many, many times that I would never sing, I would never perform, and I should, quote, lock myself in a room with a computer and never leave. And I believed the diagnosis for a very long time, until at a very late age, I know most of you are much younger than me, at about 26, I decided to fight for my love for music and singing. I'll never forget that night. I was so sick that my own GP gave up on me, I think, after probably 5 rounds of antibiotics. And I could barely whisper, but I wrote one of my first songs and decided to sing. And since then, thanks to my journey and how I became a singer, I have learned wonderful ways of working with my voice and making sure that it's my friend and not my enemy. Often working on very tough contracts where you sing 4 hours a day, 6 nights a week with months with no end. And most of my performing friends know these tricks too. But what always saddened me and shocked me a bit is that normal, non-performing friends know very little about voice hygiene. And so I want to change it today because there's so many other professions where voice is crucial. There's teachers all around the world, hundreds and thousands of them. Both of my parents were teachers. Neither of them received any training in terms of voice. I'll never forget my mum often coming home with very sore throat or just losing her voice after teaching for hours. There's parents. I think parenting is a job in itself. I'm an auntie to 7 nephews and nieces, and I can tell you from experience they need a lot of vocal stamina. There's salespeople all around the world, call center workers. They say that call centers are the factories of our times. And I worked in sales for many, many years, and I received lots of elaborate sales trainings on different ways of selling the product, and no vocal training whatsoever. And yet I believe even if you're the best salesperson in the world, if you lost your voice, you will not sell a product over the phone. When we lose our voice, it affects our productivity, and we lose a lot of money. So according to the Office for National Statistics, just in the UK alone, last year there were 131 million days taken off sick, and just over 3 million of those were taken due to ear and nose and throat reasons. So when we lose our voice, we lose a lot of work, money, and productivity. But I believe when we lose our voice, it affects us in much more important ways. There's a very big psychological aspect to losing our voice. Because our voice, for all of those of us who speak, is the main way of communicating with the world. There are wonderful other ways. There's numerous typing devices, and I love them. And I still don't understand why it's not publicly accepted to type in a public space. So you can ask my friends to confirm. If I'm in a noisy pub, I can dance, I can smile, I can listen to you, but I'll probably type back because I protect my voice. But even with all these devices, all these technological aids, we still use our voice to share our lives, our passions, our problems, joys, everything with the world. And so why, when our voice is so important to all of us, not those of us who perform, why we take so little care in protecting them? Well, I'm on a mission, and I want to change it today. Because by now, when you heard my story, some of you may have felt a bit sorry for me, perhaps, that I had to go through all this. And if you do, by the way, I accept unlimited number of hugs after the talk. Or maybe you have some sort of admiration that I went through all this. And I really hope that whenever I perform, whenever I sing, and I hope you can hear me singing later on, I can inspire people to fight for their dreams. But again, I'm not here to talk about this. I'm here on a mission to improve world's voices, and I would like to invite each and every one of you to start your day with a very short 5-minute vocal warm-up that you can do every day. I know we are all very busy. I am a freelancer, which by definition means that I work 27 hours, 9 days a week. So I know we're all very busy, but we can all do this. So I invite all of you here to join me doing this. The first thing I want you to do every morning is to drink a glass of water. It's very easy. Don't have tea, coffee, orange juice, just start with water. Why? We're built of water, and our voices need it especially. So remember, moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. You can have coffee or anything else later. It's proven scientifically that when you start your day drinking water before drinking or eating anything else, you improve your metabolism, you improve your skin, you help your brain function well, and you moisturize your voice. It needs it very well. It's very simple, very little thing that you can do every day, and it will help you immensely and change everything better. So remember, when you go to bed, leave a glass of water by the side of your bed, and then you can just drink it the first thing in the morning. Sounds really silly, but trust me, it changes a lot and helps a lot. Now, the second thing, and I invite all of you here to do it, is a little breathing exercise. So you can do it on the side of your bed, you can do it on the train to work, you can do it waiting for your kettle to boil. It takes really 2 minutes. Close your eyes and take a deep breath through the nose and then blow out through your mouth as if you were blowing out a candle, or you can make an S sound. So I'll demonstrate here. Really blow out all the air that you have. It's very easy and simple. Relax your shoulders. You can make an S sound again. Really easy, right? Do it at least 5 times. Basically what it is, it's a simple meditation. Now, if you're not a spiritual person, if you don't like meditation, let me just say that it's scientifically proven to improve your life in many wonderful ways. It improves your memory, increases your productivity. It boosts your immune system. It is also proven to increase the amount of gray matter in your brain, so it makes you smarter. But if you don't believe science, let me just quote Dalai Lama, who said that if every 8-year-old was taught meditation today, we will eliminate violence within 1 generation. But what it does to your voice, it slows you down, which I have to remember when I do my TED Talk. So when you rush to work, when you start your day, instead of going all quick and tense and stress, you slow down and take a breath. We live because we breathe. We speak because we breathe. And yet so many times we as if forget to breathe. So start your day with a few breaths. Very easy and simple. Next thing, again, I invite you to join me doing this. Stretch. When we do any physical exercise, when we have a marathon, when we play a match, we know that we have to stretch to avoid injury, right? And yet, before marathons of speaking for hours, making hundreds of calls, or teaching, we never stretch these muscles, and they need it just as well, or even more. So you can do it under the shower while washing your hair, or if you do not have hair, you can wash your imaginary hair just as well. And you can stretch, so basically bend down your head and look down and count to 10. And then just look up gently and open your mouth like this. I know it looks silly. And just count to 10. And then gently to the right and count to 10 and breathe. It's very easy. And then to the left. You can also add stretching at about 45 degrees right to the mic. Or if you're a woman like me, I call it my one-to-one personal catch-up with my breasts. It's very good with breast cancer awareness as well. Again, it stretches your neck and your voice muscles, and it's very important. It prepares it for all the hard work of speaking for all day long later on. So remember, stretch. Next thing, imagine again, you can do it maybe not on public transport, but you can do it under the shower again. Imagine you've got a huge, big, very tasty candy in your mouth, and it's all yours. So imagine you have to munch it really well. Again, I will demonstrate it. It is very yummy. I know it sounds silly, but what it does, it warms up all the muscles in your mouth. And again, they need it, because if you're going to speak for hours, if you are planning to speak for hours or talk or take calls, you will need to warm it up. And this is the best, most gentle way to warm it up. The next thing, when you're doing this, remember to massage your cheeks. Just give it all the love and care that it deserves. Nearly last, blow some bubbles. Now, kids love it. I will demonstrate it. Take your fingers and touch your cheeks. And then blow out all the air that you have, like a very happy horse. I know. Children just love it. You know, adults, we are so limited by all the constraints. Remember, touch your cheeks, so it doesn't strain you. And if you want, add some melodies to it, like this. Now again, you can try it on public transport at your own risk. But what it does, again, it's the best way to warm up your vocal cords. We sing as we know it. If you don't have a lot of time, just do a lot of bubbles, because you warm them up very gently and you prepare for all the much harder work of talking. This is just a gentle warm-up, and it does miracles to your voice. And last thing I want you to do is to have a good yawn. Now, yawning, remember this. If you remember me for one thing, remember me for saying that yawning is absolutely awesome. If someone told you that yawning is bad, just tell them I'll punch them. Because yawning should be nominated for a Nobel Prize in Human Movements. It opens up the throat. It opens up all the vocal muscles that we have here. So yawn. And if you don't know how to yawn on demand, very easy. Again, blow some bubbles. I'll show it. And then immediately take some air in all the way that you have. So, oh, excuse me, but it will force you to yawn. Again, yawn as much as you want and as much as you can, because it will just open you up. It's very good. Nature knows what it does. If you yawn, you're opening up for the day, and your throat is opening up for the day. It's all really easy, and I know it's very short and simple. When I have a show, I have probably at least half an hour warm-up, and all of my performance friends know it as well. But I did it very short and simple on purpose, because we're all very busy, and you're not performers. But small changes, small things repeated every day can impact your lives in huge, wonderful ways, such as the power of habit. So I hope that this little warm-up will help you and change your lives positively and make you and your voices very happy, and that way I can make the world a bit of a better place. And the last thing I want to ask you, all of you, to do is to sing. Really, wherever, whatever, and whenever you want. Do not believe anyone who says that you can't sing. If you tell me that you can't, I can't either, but I happen to do it for a living. Singing goes from the heart. It goes from that very place where you feel safe, where you've never been told that you can't do anything, where you haven't been rejected. It just makes you happy naturally. And I honestly believe strongly and passionately that if we all sang a bit more, the world will be a much happier and much more peaceful place. Now imagine Vladimir Putin and Barack Obama singing to one another. That would be fun, right? So again, please respect your fellow bus passengers or your colleagues at work, but sing wherever, whatever, or whenever you want, because singing goes from the heart and makes you happy. And funnily enough, when you sing, in most of the cases, you do not injure your voice, because you do it naturally. You injure your voice when you're stressed, when you're nervous, when your voice is tense, when you just tighten up everything here. When you hum your favorite melody in the kitchen, you probably do it in the most wonderful, natural ways, thus making your voice, your soul, and your heart very happy. Thank you so much.